Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing another volleyball video because everybody really likes these. So I am doing volleyball do's and don'ts. So 5 do's and 5 don'ts. Let's get started. The first volleyball do is to ask your coach for advice and just establishing like you really want to know. And I think like this topic is more like volleyball IQ. So this is a really smart thing to do, and it really lets the coach know like you really want to play the game and you want to know how you can improve your game. I think asking your coach is the best thing to do of what you need to improve, whether it's serving, spiking, setting, passing straight. The first don't, I don't know if this, I guess this is more of a new player don't, is do not cross your fingers when you pass the ball. So there are 3 different ways of passing, so I'm going to show you really quick. So there are 3 different ways of passing. So the first one, you're going to take your left hand and wrap it into a fist. And you're going to take your right hand and wrap it around and squeeze your shoulders. That is the first way of passing. My thumbs are not crossed over. The second way of passing, which I don't really think is good unless you close it properly, is this one. So you take your left hand on the bottom and your right hand on the top, and you fold your fingers over. And the only problem with this one is a lot of people do it open and just hold one, and then it hits their palm and you don't get a good pass if like the ball lands too short. So you really have to wrap it like that if you're gonna pass like this. And then the third one, which is the one I use but people say is kind of bad, is I do cross my fingers, cry, just cry. So, and then that's how you pass that one. And remember, you need to squeeze your shoulders all the time. The second do is to make friends with your teammates. That is very important to play really well in games, to communicate, just making friends with your teammates. And even if it's not someone you get along with particularly, you should at least be acquainted with them to the point you know their name, you know how they play, you know, just you need to create that family atmosphere because it really does help your gameplay. My second don't is to not be afraid of your coaches, because when you're afraid of your coach, you just don't really have that good relationship where you can ask for advice, you know, trust them. You really need a trustworthy coach. So I'd really advise to not be afraid of your coach. My third do is to not let the little things get to you. So if you have a bad volleyball day, just don't let that get to you. Try just to be like, I'll do better next time. Just really try to not let it get to you, or if you lose, just try not to let it get to you. My third don't is do not bring your team down. Don't be the person in conditioning that goes, this hurts, or this is lame, because the more you complain, one kind of affects the whole team. You know, when one person is like not up for it, it kind of affects the whole team, because volleyball is quite a small team. So I mean, even in big teams, if one player is not there, it just breaks down the whole game. So try to be that positive volleyball player, and maybe if you do have a negative volleyball player, consider talking to them and kind of working that out. My fourth do is to give your best in every practice. Coaches really like to see that, and players really like to see that. So that means hustle the balls even though it doesn't look like you're gonna get it. At least try. No one really wants to see the person who's just like, ball bounces right here and they don't do anything. Even if it's coming too fast, just try your best and really be supportive of the other teammates. So just, you know, do your best every practice, and you should leave the practice feeling satisfied that you did your best. My fourth don't is don't slack in conditioning. I know everybody wants to do it and everybody hates conditioning, but don't do it, because it's going to make you stronger in the long run. And if you think about it, if you miss 5 push-ups every time you have to condition, you're probably missing about 100 push-ups. And, you know, volleyball and sports are one of those things where you just have to condition. You have to run, or you have to do push-ups, or if you hold squats or whatever, or hold planks or whatever. Like, that's what you signed up for, so I don't think you should slack on it, just because it also affects the team, because if they see you slack, then all of them will be like, well, that wasn't fair, you know. So it's just good to be a team player and just do all your conditioning like everybody else. So my fifth and final for the do category is to practice outside of the gym. Now, I know this sounds super simple and super easy, but you'd be surprised how many people do not practice out of the gym. Even though you practice 2 times a week, 3 times a week, I don't really care. You should practice outside of the gym, because just because you're in the gym you're just practicing in the gym. You need to practice outside of the gym, whether it's passing, serving, whatever. You just need to practice. Just because I know you can find time. If you have like watched Netflix for 2 hours, you can pause it and go outside and pass for 20 minutes or serve for 20 minutes. Like, it's not a big deal. So I suggest to improve your gameplay outside of the gym is to practice outside of the gym. My fifth and final one is also very obvious for don'ts. So do not skip out on practices. Now, I get if you have like the one-off thing, that is fine, but don't obviously like come every other practice unless you literally have something to do. Because volleyball is a commitment, and if your team sees you're not there, it kind of brings it down, especially if you play a main role in the team or you're a starter. You should really set an example, and especially if you're an older girl playing with like younger teams, or if you're on varsity and junior varsity sees you, they don't want to see you not at practice, because it just sets a bad, reputation for what they think varsity's like, because they may think, oh, I can just skip practices, which is not the case. So just be a good example and don't skip practices, because you should go to about 90% of them. I don't see why you would miss 10%, but just like, you should just always be there, always try to be there. Thanks for watching my volleyball do's and don'ts video. I hope you liked it. Comment down below if you want to see any more volleyball videos or any volleyball questions. I've been getting a lot of those and I really like answering them. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you on Thursday. Goodbye. Another storytime video, because why not? I just am so much shortcomings. So this one's going to be themed around music and singing. So I have 3 different stories I'm going to tell you